Hello everyone, this is Tanzim. Today I will be presenting my project for the SIE 515 Human Computer Interaction. I was working in AI for communication domain, and the name of my project is EchoMind, which is an AI voice assistant for ESL users and for the people with speech disorders like stuttering and cluttering. These are the main contents of my presentation. Throughout this presentation, I will present the project summary, which consists of the objective of my project, who are the targeted user, and validation of my selected problem. I will also briefly explain the methodology and the storyboard that I have designed and the prototype that I have designed, the challenges, and lastly, conclusion and the future work. So, what's the objective of this project? The objective of this project is to design an AI-based voice assistant that is accessible for users who struggle with stuttering, cluttering, or in short, the people who are facing problems with the speech. And there are a lot of reasons behind selecting this problem. Basically, I have selected this problem from the experience from my real life. Uh, at the first time, I mean, from the beginning when I was starting my PhD in United States, as I am from Bangladesh and where English is used as a second language, I have faced a lot of difficulties with the voice assistants. So, to be honest, I have selected this problem from my real life experience. Like all of you know that the voice assistants have become a significant part of everyday technology in recent years, and profoundly impacting how we interact with our devices and access information. And nowadays, everyone is using voice assistant for the day-to-day life purpose, and especially a lot of famous companies like Apple, Google are building this product and adding new features into those to make the life easier. And this popularity is spreading over the time, keeping a major portion behind who are facing problems in expressing themselves or have some disorders. So, despite their advancement, these voice assistants still face significant challenges when it comes to effectively serving people who uh, serving people with speech disorders or use English or people who use English as a second language. So for this type of scenario, I have proposed a solution which would be fruitful both for normal as well as the community who lack in communication, especially the people who have the speech disorders. So my proposed solution will make the speech language impaired community feel inclusiveness for using the voice assistant in day-to-day life. And for this, I have divided the targeted user into two groups, and the user group one will consist of the people who are facing with anxiety and the people like non-native speakers like the ESL users, and the user group 2 will consist of the people who have speech and fluency disorders like stuttering and cluttering. And I have also shared the customer discovery interview here. uh, Basically, this customer discovery interview validates my problem statement, and their feedbacks inspires me to make some changes in my project. So these customers or the stakeholders, their feedbacks are very important. That's why I have presented their interview. I have presented my interview experience with them. This is the experience with user group 2. Let's look at the methodology. So this picture will demonstrate the flowchart of the methodology that I have proposed, and this methodology has 5 core parts representing the multimodal input, and this multimodal input is the first stage where the system receives input from the user through various channels such as voice, text, mouse clicks, gestures, facial expression, and images. uh, it can be implemented in a lot of ways, but for my project I have made it short for text, voice, and image. And the second part is input feedback. Once the input is received, the system provides feedback to the user in several forms. The same forms that I have discussed before, in that can be presented in visual forms, that can be presented in text form, that can be presented in also audio or voice forms. This feedback mechanism ensures that the voice assistant correctly understands the user's input by confirming or asking for the clarification. So this feedback is very necessary. And the third part is the important features trained on virtual assistant. The correctly interpreted inputs are then used to train the virtual assistant on important features, enhancing its ability to understand and respond appropriately. This is a core. This is an core engineering step. So the better you will train the model, the better the virtual assistant will perform. One of the most important features of this methodology is the interactive learning. This process is bidirectional and linked to the feedback mechanism. The interactive learning helps the system to improve its interaction with the user by learning from the past interactions and improving future communications. Moreover, the most important thing from this interactive learning is that it can generate new suggestions. Basically, this one is implemented using the concept of generative AI. And lastly, the multimodal output. After processing the input, the way responds with the outputs that can be also presented in the forms of voice, text, and or image. This multimodal input or output, it can be changed anytime from the settings of this app or project. And as I discussed before, my customer discovery interview inspires me to make some changes in my methodology. Basically, I basically from the beginning, I was planning to implement these interactive learning feature as a full-fledged functional feature, but one of my user from user group representing user group 2 suggested me he does not need this kind of feature. So this interactive learning feature can spoil some of his time. So then I thought that if I present it like an feature, extra feature, like an extra add-ons, then obviously it will not bother all of the users. Basically, the users who needs this feature will select the will turn this interactive learning feature on, and then the learning will be provided to him or her. And if someone doesn't need, then it will be turned off by from the settings. So and another user from my user group 1, he suggested me to use this interactive learning process because as he is an ESL user, so he needs this kind of learning to clear his communication. And one of the main term of this interactive learning that I need to present everyone, that is, if you turn off this interactive learning feature off, then it will just turn off its suggestion features, like it will not generate any suggestion for you. But uh, the the interaction from the interaction by learning from the past will not be turned off. It will be turned on. It will be okay. So I have already spent 8 minutes. I think I need to spend more hours to explain my prototypes. So I will briefly explain my storyboard, and I also want to expand a little bit small time here because throughout this course I have made an extra slides, extra explanation for the storyboards. But in this slide. I want to present one of the most important interaction with my virtual assistant, and basically this this conversation or this storyboard will help you to understand how my virtual assistant is different from the traditional virtual assistant, and how the traditional virtual assistant cannot handle this type of error or this type of message from the ESL users. So like one of my user will ask the virtual assistant like in this way: hey echo, add this cell number for the person X as a second number. And after hearing this, the EchoMind will reply, do you want to add this number as your second number? Basically, it did not understand my command properly, I and then obviously in the feedback form I will the person will select no. Then after a while, after a very small amount of time, this VA will suggest or show up some information from the person X, and it will suggest, do you want to add this number into another level? And this suggestion is clear, this feedback is clear, that's why I will select yes. And after selecting yes, the my virtual assistant will suggested me on how to say this line clearly, like it will suggest me hi, you can say add an alternative number for person X, and then then the user can understand that okay, this line is enough to explain this command properly. So this is how my proposed virtual assistant will work, which will not be found in the traditional virtual assistant. And this and moreover, in this way my virtual assistant can handle the error from the user. Let's look at the prototype of my project. Basically, this one is the most sensational part of my presentation, and in these prototypes, I will try to explain the core functional features as far as possible. And in this slide I had presented two user interface. The first user interface is the home page, which will be appeared after installing the app, and where the login, sign up, you can also visit this app as a guest, and there is also an exit button is available. And the next user interface is basically generated for the login page. This page is like the traditional login page that we are using uh, in our day-to-day life. Like you can take the login with your email and password. There's also an option of forgot password, and also you can log in through the API like Google and Apple. This slide represents another two user interface, that is sign up and visit this app interface. If you tap the login, then the login page will be appeared as we have discussed before. If you tap the sign up, then the sign up page will be appeared. The sign up page is like the traditional sign up pages, where you can do the sign up with the email and also using the API. If you tap the visit this app from the home interface, then this visit this app interface will be appeared, where anyone can see for whom this app is built, why this app is built, and what is the main functional features of this app. Then you can decide if you want, whether you will use this app or not. However, if anyone wishes to choose this app, then after installing this app, these two user interface will appear. Basically, this two user interface will seek your permission whether you want to use this interactive learning feature or not. Another user interface will be the data analytics. It will also seek your permission if you want to share your data with this app. Basically, this feature will track your data feedbacks and train accordingly over the time, so that it can perform better with you. This feature also includes privacy statements like this app will not undertake any profitable work without informing you or share your data with third parties. After installing this app for the first time, then the tutorials will be appeared, as tutorials are not the core part of this project, so we'll discuss it later. So let's look at how the EchoMind app is taking the input from the user. Basically, the user here I have presented one input taking method in voice format. The user will ask something from the virtual assistant, and it will generate the feedback in a text or image format. Then if the VA wants to suggest anything to the user, then it will suggest. So in the first user interface, we can see that user is wanting to know something from the VA, like what is the price of the brinjal today. Obviously keep in mind that there are some requirements that should be fulfilled, like the location service always be turned on while using this app. So when the user asking this question to VA, the VA will generate the answer. In the next user interface, we can see that the VA responds that the price of the brinjal in Walmart and Hannaford is like that. And also we can see that there is an learning or the suggestion phase from this app. Like the app wants to give some suggestion to the user. Like you should say you can say the word also, you can say the word eggplant instead of using the brinjal, because brinjal is a word that is widely used basically in Asia like India, Bangladesh, and eggplant is a popular term in US, Canada, or Mexico. So you can use this format. This one is a very good suggestion. This suggestion will also work for like some of the vegetables like lentils versus pulse, soccer versus football, because most of the people who came to US from various from the other subcontinent, they faced this type of problem. So this is the way of solving this problem, and this is the way the VA responds when when user asks something like this way. This slide is very important because I have presented one of the core functional feature of this project in this slide using two user interface. In the first user interface, this shows how the command is taking input in image form and showing feedback in text or image form. This image input can be taken from camera or chosen from the device as well. And this is how the multimodal input output is implemented in this project. And moreover, this app also generates multiple feedbacks when it's necessary and request you to choose one of the feedback from the multiple, so that it can train itself better to communicate with you. And in the next user interface, we can see the multiple feedbacks, so which is generated by the EchoMind app, and it will also show you the differences between the feedbacks. You can easily differentiate between this feedback, and you can choose one. And moreover, if you choose something that is different from the feedback number one, then the Mind app will generate a vibration uh, mm, to just let you know that the first feedback was wrong. So far, we have already seen how the app will take the input output in multimodal form, and how the EchoMind app will generate the feedback in various forms, and how the training process is implemented using the feedbacks to have a better communication with the user. In this slide, these two user interfaces are uh, some additional user interfaces that is necessary to have to do the functional features properly. And the first user interface is the change feedback methods. Basically, if you tap the feedback method button, then this user interface will appear, where you can choose the forms of the you can choose the forms of feedback you want. Like if you want text, whether you want image or voice, that it can be chosen from here. And another one is another UI is given for the navigation, where you can see your profile information, and you can do the sign out. Also, you will find the input method, how the input method can be changed, output method can be changed, vibration, and your history, the tutorials, and the privacy statements that you have given at the first time installing this app. So this UI represents these important informations. This UI is very funny UI. Basically, this UI represents how the tutorials will work when you install this app for the first time. Like if you want to take the input image in image format, then just you will say, "Hey Echo, take the input image." Hey Echo, input image. Then the image will be taken in input image format. There will be a box will appear. Obviously, there will be a button to choose your photo from your device. This kind of tutorials can be presented here. You can also skip, you can go to the other tutorials also. This UI represents this type of scenario. We are on the verge of ending our presentation, so we will talk about the conclusion and the future work. This voice assistant project marks a significant stride towards inclusivity and accessibility in the realm of digital technology by specifically targeting the unique needs of individuals who face stuttering challenges and those for whom English is a second language. This project not only bridges a vital gap in voice recognition technology, but also amplifies the voices of the often overlooked communities. Some future works can be like the training process can be customized, like the user can train the VA according to his data set, where the accent and dialect can be different. The background noise should be handled, which I think I have not dealt this process yet, and some features should be worked in offline. So thank you very much for hearing my presentation.